Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the House of Improvements. Year one, making my first product here. If you notice, there's a new location. Where the sewing machine is. So I decided to change locations to move my my body and my everything out here. It's a little brighter. We'll ultimately see how well this one works. I might end up getting like a screen to cover all of that, but we'll see. You know, it's all as the promise of this show is every week we're going to try something a little bit better and a little bit different, and keep on going until we find that magic, right? So for today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to make our first little product. If you notice in the last couple of videos and everything, we had been doing other people's products that I got donated to me. And then I also did making some modifications to like how to modify shirts into being, different necklines and such. And, that's still very much going to keep going. I'm not going to like not sell those. That is something in May when I plan on launching the whole company and, having things for sale. That will absolutely be for sale. You will be able to buy, pre-made stuff and have kits, or also send them to me and have me modify your clothes, or get brand new clothes off the internet and modify them. However we want to do it, we figure all that out. But I also will be making my own clothing, and so today I wanted to show off just kind of like how I might go about that process, And so what we have here, this is kind of a donor shirt. This is one of my shirts. And how this works is that, any kind of shirt like this, you'll notice it's exactly the same on both sides. And so when they make that pattern, they oftentimes will put that entire pattern, what's called on the fold. So literally, in this case, you can take a shirt, fold it in half, and that essentially becomes very close to what we want our pattern to be. Now, for me particularly, I'm not looking to make this shirt. You can already buy this shirt from 1,000 people, right? From Jockey, from Gillian, from Hanes. Thousands of people sell this shirt. Patreon, all this kind of stuff. They have very easily available these shirts. And so what I do is I'm going to make my own, where it's not going to be this, but actually a yoked version. Yoked means that I can take and actually have this thing be like two colors. And then this is going to be what's called a French sleeve style. And French sleeve, how that works is that, basically, the easiest way to explain it is that this is what's called a set-in sleeve. So this is one piece, and this is one piece. Well, technically two pieces, front and back. And then that's sewn into the sleeve. Okay? What I'm going to do is take this and put it, nice, and then put it in as just one piece. So you have just a front, which has half a sleeve to it, and a back that has another half a sleeve. And so you end up with only two pattern pieces instead of this one that is, three. You have the front, back, and the sleeves. I'm going to have a front, a back. Well, technically, I'll still have three in the end because I'll have a yoked piece. But it's like this will be all one piece. It's just kind of a fun way of doing it. It's a little bit different than what other people are selling, but at the same time, really nice. I make them at my work that I work at, and they sell really well. I've done some modifications too. I did like an asymmetrical one, and so that one sold really well. And kind of was like, all right, when I make my own company, I want to make like an even better version of it. And so what we're going to do is the first thing is kind of like this donor shirt. It was looking at just how big it is, how big the sleeves are, and I actually went ahead and wrote some little things down. It'll be hard for you guys to necessarily see it, but that's what I'm going for. And see, as you can see there in the little dotted lines, that's the yoked piece. And so that way you can actually have it be like a two-colored shirt. It's going to be cute. It's going to be real, real cute. It'll have a similar neckline to this, but in the crew neck plus style, which unfortunately that video, I didn't ever put it up yet, but I'll put it up eventually. Because I did already make all those crew necks and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'll just put that as a video on my channel, and I haven't edited yet. So let's see. So anyways, let's go ahead and make this little guy. Ooh, you know what? I forgot to put, there we go. I forgot to put my music on. That way, you know, maybe I should put high energy music or something, but I wanted some nice, calm, relaxing stuff. Mine's not going to be 100% identical to this. It will actually be slightly bigger and longer as well. And beforehand, before we started today, I took a piece and I folded it in half. So now I have a piece that is on fold. So when I do lay this out, cut it out, I can then, when I cut it out, I'll have one pattern piece that is the entire front, and then we'll do this thing again, one pattern piece for the back. Which, I will say this, we're going to actually try it the first way, where the front and the back are exactly the same. Even less pieces, right? And then we can try another one where I set the back higher or lower, or set the front higher or lower, and play with that. And that's ultimately in the Patreon, something that we will be doing as well, is I'll show you guys a pattern and be like, all right, who wants to try a half-inch higher, lower, wider, all these kinds of things. And then, we'll figure it all out. And you figured with all that Ukrainian stuff that all the Russian bots would be gone, right? But hey, I guess they can't get them all, right? Anyways, this as is 11 inches, but of course there's something called seam allowance. So we're going to do ours not at 11, but actually one thing we're going to do first, I wanted to add 2 inches to it. This is a fun one. This is a 90-degree ruler. So I can put that right on that fold and get a nice straight line. Okay. Now we have the bottom. Now we want all the way to the top, which it'll be better if I do it this way. Always got to make sure I hold my ruler down. These rulers, they move on you like crazy. Let's see, am I out of frame a little bit? Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it for now. We'll leave it like that for now. Okay. So we then want to do a sleeve that is, well, for now, we're going to do a sleeve that's, the under part of the sleeve. This one on the donor shirt is 5 inches. I wanted to make mine to a 6-inch. But my little pattern's a little short for that now, so we'll do a 5.5. It's always the tough thing about having any of this kind of stuff. It's like sometimes you have to go get more and more paper, and it's like, for now, we'll just make it at 5.5 inches. And we can always make more patterns in the future, just trying to, figure out exactly how we want it. And this sleeve, and most sleeves, are 7 inches wide times 2, so you got 14 inches. Right, and so we'll do that. But as always, we need seam allowance. All right. From the bottom, that's 24, 6. So you want the entire thing to be 30, from the top of the neck all the way down is 30 inches. Which actually, we want our neckline itself to be 2 inches lower than that. So that's there. And then what I can do here is just take this line and kind of draw it all the way over. And so, now you have your sleeve, and now what I need is a shoulder. So the sleeve itself is going to be about 8 inches. Okay. And then we have a shoulder. The shoulder is about 6. And then, oh, you know what? I didn't grab my other ruler, did I? Well, because I just moved and I hadn't grabbed all my rulers yet. Well, that's fine. For today, I can just do it by freehand. Because actually, after doing this stuff for a couple of years, I can draw a curve in my sleep. Boom. There we go. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We'll do that at, we'll try 3 inches down. Camera still okay. All right. Okay. And so is from there. Got my hoop there. Huh? I need to do it a little wider, for sure. Oh, what's this one? This one to its center point is 4, so we want 5. All right. So that is essentially what we're looking at is a curve up here off to a straight line, which then curves down and makes a little sleeve. Pretty simple. So that's like our basics of what we're looking at. And then what it is, as I said before, I want to do a yoked piece. So if you kind of give a look at it right now, you have this like little neckline up there, and then it goes to my sleeve all the way down, right? But that's not the pattern piece finished. What we need instead is that yoked piece. So the next thing we got to do is basically figure out where we want it. Now, if my sleeve here is 6 inches, as I said, I kind of want to do it at 4 inches. So it's a little more this way to your shoulder than it is. So you get basically 4 inches of color in a block around your neck here. So it would be a nice, like a U shape of color around your neck. Kind of a fun thing, right? So let's do this way. Okay, so 4, and then we're going to do 4.5 for seam allowance. And then the real next question is, how far do we want it? Well, our neck drop on a piece like this, the neckline only drops about 1 inch. Yeah, 2 inches. It drops 2 inches. So we want it to come about double that. So double 2 inches is 4 inches plus seam allowance is 4, and I'm actually going to round it up to 5. Just to kind of see how it looks, right? You know, to see how far, if I go too far, because you see like on the Thor here, if I'm doing any kind of screen printing, I actually might have to raise that or lower that even more, but go down here. So, you know, we will play with that, but that's part of what the experience of watching me is that, you know, you can kind of see someone in real time try to figure things out, right? And then hopefully when I get the Patreon and everything else, I can get more participation from others. Okay, so now we have that same thing, but with a little like rectangle. And we're actually going to cut that rectangle out along with the rest of this guy. Now, normally I actually have staples. But as I said, I just kind of moved this right now, like literally 5 minutes ago. So not everything's here yet. So we'll worry about, one piece at a time, right? And I'm going to keep my little neckline over there for now, and then actually we'll reference it later so that I can get that kind of same neckline I already bothered to make, but get it real made. Get it made into an actual pattern. But it is always fun to kind of establish those lines and then, kind of figure out what things are going to look like from there. Also, I did a completely straight hem, but I like to do it like an inch or two longer than like this one. This one's about 25. I'm doing 27. And so, I personally don't think you need it round if you're doing it longer. But, everyone has their opinions, and a round option can be available for sure. And a round option, that's called a shirt hem. Often done on like a button-up. Whereas a t-shirt has just a rounded hem, just a flat hem. So, remember we had it on fold, and so therefore you end up with this. You see? And that's your big shirt, right? So now we have our basic piece, but we still need that neckline, right? So I'm going to actually cut out my neckline that I made. Even cutting that part out. And so now I have the neckline too. Isn't that cool? And I added a little bit to the pattern to make sure seam allowance and everything is in there. So when I cut it out, it already has a seam allowance in it. So that's how it will be on my chest. With, a wider neckline than normal. And then you have that look. So this will all be one color. So basically, almost like the whole top of me is one color. And then everything down below is a different color, right? Oh, you know what? I only brought one color here. You know what? I'll be right back. One second. I'm going to get another fabric. Sorry about that. But I forgot I only got one piece of fabric. So this is another piece of fabric. We'll use this and then this one as well. So, you can kind of see what's going to end up happening, right? You have this kind of cool fabric that's up here and then like a nice denim on the bottom, or the opposite way around, right? I mean, it's kind of up to us to make those decisions, right? And I'll leave this for the side in case I ever need it again. Anyways, let's go ahead and cut it out. All right. So let's go ahead and cut out my small piece first. So how we're going to do this is we're actually going to cut 4 of these. 2 for the front, 2 for the back. And the reason for that is because we actually will sew it at the neckline together, making a nice flat neckline. There actually won't be a collar like this has ribbing on it. I don't think this one will even have it. I will do a version, like the next version next week. I'll try to have one with that. But for now, we're going to look at it with no kind of modifications to it at all. And actually, I was looking at this earlier. I actually like this side better than I like that side. And so we're actually going to do that. All right. So I put them over here. Here they are. Like, I know I brought those. It's like, I know I brought my weights. Right. And I brought a thing as well. I don't know that I put it. Yeah, I'll be right back, rather. Hold on. I realized as soon as I walked away, this section right here. I knew I had brought it over. It's really white. Alrighty. All right, so now we have our little neck piece. Might be a little too wide, to be honest. It's definitely going to end up being too wide, but that's fine. You know, that was the goal, was to kind of, you know, go too wide, and then you can always make it narrower, right? But you know, the point is to try things. And so anytime you're cutting fabric, you always want to put right sides together. The best part about that is it's already in the right place. Which means all I got to do is pin it together. Well, that's why you wear shoes, right? So now all I got to do is pin it together, and that piece is ready to sew. Really don't need all those pins. All right. Let me close that so we don't just throw those things everywhere. All right, we got to clean up these things real fast. I knocked them all over the place. A second bot? I mean, I'm treated well today. I got 2 bots. Well, I hope the Ukraine is slightly less busy then, because they got 2 bots here. 2 less bots bothering those people, right? All right. As I said, right sides together, so this one does need to get flipped. Man, I need a new workbench so badly. That is like number one priority. Is I really got to get me a new workbench. Because not having them 72 inches, man, it's a killer. Yeah, because I mean, I can't even do this on this freaking table, can I? No, I literally can't. All right, well, we're going to cut it twice then. Fuck it. We'll cut it twice. Come on, Fabric, you gotta cooperate with me. Huh? So, you want to be a pretty shirt? You've been sitting in the closet for 20 years. It's time to cut you out, motherfucker. Shit. Yeah, this happens when you don't pre-steam. All right. We're going to use words like good enough today, for sure. Because I just need a sample, and I need it to be done. There we go. You don't want to be on even grain, then you don't got me. All right. Sleeve's gonna end up being too short, too. Well, you know, you learn on the fly, right? Lovely. All right. So, our shirt is starting to take shape. Yeah, I know, right? Starting to take shape, but I couldn't fit both of them on here, so we have to cut this twice. I really gotta start doing my prep work like a day ahead of time instead of doing all my prep work 15 minutes before this starts, huh? Weird lines. Oh well. It's a sample. Bastard. You know what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Come on, little guy. There we go. All right. Where did I put that? There it is. Oh, that's gonna be fucked up. You know what? Who cares? I need it cut out. This whole pattern's gonna need to get redone anyways. That's definitely jacked up. Doing a pattern in 2 minutes is too quick to do a pattern, apparently. Oh well. It is what it is. Cool. The other side. And then let's take this fabric and yeet that right on out of here. Alrighty. So what we got to do next is go get my sewing done. Now the real question is, how do I do that for you guys? I was thinking of just like moving it like there. Well, you know, I think we liked our other angle better, didn't we? We liked this angle, right? Hold on. I got a bunch of junk in the way. Yeah, see, we liked that angle better for now. Wow, that glare on that today is not good. Alright, well, if I did this, I was going to change it. Yeah, that fixes a lot. Alright. Cool, I'm sure I've scared away everyone today. As you can tell, I'm not in the best mood. Alright. It's been a very frustrating day at work. You ever have a client that just can't be pleased no matter what? I got them all the time. Put that in our box of awesome. Alright, you gotta get the other one done. Oh, you know what? I didn't set up the ironing board today. That's alright. Oh, whoa, whoa. You look away for 1 second, these things will run away on you. Especially with this weird fabric that I have today. They actually had 4 people at one point. I think that's the most I've ever had. Granted, that person immediately left, but, you know, immediately left is better than, I guess, nothing at all. But I get it. Who would want to watch me eat? Fuck around on a damn sunshine. All right, so we got piece one. And I mean, realistically, I have to iron this at some point. So, I mean, not really sure what I'm going to do about that. I just flattened it out a bunch. I mean, taking you into the other room is not going to be really possible anymore because I don't have anything to stand it on. All right, 1 second. I'll be right back. No, that's not how that works. All right, so that's 1, 2. They're both done, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take them into the other room. I'll take you guys with me. That's what I was doing, was getting things set up, because I did all this very quickly at the end, and, you know, as I've said, the company doesn't really launch until May, so it's all, you know, all of this is kind of the behind-the-scenes footage of you know, how I make this company. From a dream to a nightmare. I mean, a reality. Joke there, right? Anyways. Let's go on a trip. There we go. Still don't have my big boy set up yet because I still don't know where I'm going to set all this stuff at. So I haven't, you know, set up all that kind of stuff yet. You know, still in the beginning stages here, right? See, much better. Ooh, I'm low on water, so it's not pointing out water no more. That's fine. This one is the front. Let's do a better job. Ta-da! 2 necklines. Again, that they're way too large. They're massively too large, but you know. That's what I get for redoing my patterns 5 times, right? Alright. I'm at weird angles all day. Alright. So we have our first piece. And our second piece. And we want to sew some of this together. All right. Well, also tell you guys if Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's just a Funko shirt. They have a ton of them. Ah. I thought I'd say something sounded off. It's because I'm out of a bobbin. Do I have more loaded? I do. So we'll just use one of those. Who cares if it matches? I don't. I really wanted to get this done in under 30 minutes. But, that's doubtful. We're at 45 already. Yeah. And I was trying to get this done in 30. But, I got to make sure my prep work in the future. I was talking to my father about this just the other day. I got to do more prep work beforehand. So we can find that magic sweet spot between, how much work I'm doing versus how much work you guys really want to see me do. Because obviously no one really wants to sit here for hours and hours and watch me work. That's, that was a fantasy that I had, but, no one really wants that. And I get that. So, it's kind of like figuring out what exactly I can do for an audience. What's my unique point of view, as they say. And today, it seems to be a bunch of manic energy, right? I was in special needs classes up until the point where God cured me of that. But, really, the middle school ran out. They didn't have a 7th grade one. So now we have something that looks like a shirt. You got something that looks kind of like a shirt, but with no neckline. So now the shirt needs a neckline. Where did I put my neckline? Oh, yeah. Ooh. One second. My bad. My power on my battery there was about to die on me. I had 7% battery life. And I thought I charged this thing, but apparently I didn't. Okay, so as you can see, this has both a front and a back already attached. So that means my neckline here also needs that. So how you do that with this, so there's two different kinds of, like, this is a seam, just call it a regular seam. All right, and then this is what's called an encased seam. So you have part one, part two. And how anything works is it's always right sides together. So you lay it down, and then you actually fold piece one over piece two. Now you can see all the backs, and then inside one piece and the other piece. Okay? And then when you sew that together, you make a little seam. Now the hard part is you do want to make sure you match that little part there. That's kind of your make or break spot. And I would say more often than not, it's a break for me. Like it's you know, a lot of times they don't, like the contractors and stuff, man, their stuff is always so much more precise than mine. But, you know, 20 years experience will do that for you. And then the result is that. Isn't that neat? So now it's one piece. Well, still technically two pieces, right? That's sewn together. And so we're going to do that one more time, obviously, for the other side. Key thing, making that, you know, making sure you have, you know, it is still a circle. You don't want to get it twisted. Trust me, that is the worst. You get your shoulders twisted, and then like you start. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like my coworker walked over and she was like, "Girl, your shit's backwards." I was like, "Oh dang, you got me there." I was like, "It's backwards." Well, you know, after that, I was learned how to spot it myself, and then I could spot it myself. And I made that mistake again. I knew how to fix it. You know, that's always the thing there, right? Once you make the mistake, the point is to learn from it. And hopefully maybe some of my mistakes, because I'll make plenty. Hopefully some of these mistakes you guys can learn from and not do yourself, which I doubt most of you are ever going to sew, but, you know, it's still a good sentiment to have. And my problem I always forget is I got to make sure this part is like folded in properly. And there we go. Again, make sure this part is folded in. Yeah, it never is. Cool. So now we have a neckline. Isn't that fun? So now we have a solid neckline, and we have a shirt. Well, I think we see something that, you know, how that goes together, right? I mean, really, we should have pressed this, but you know. In the real world, you definitely should have pressed it. But, you know, for this down and dirty little sample, we don't got it. Because I really don't want to have to walk the camera all the way back over there. No problem. Make sure it's not twisted. Very important that it not be twisted. If it's twisted, well, then you kind of screwed. And you gotta seam rip it and do it again. My hands hurt a lot if I do this too much. And so I bought these pins. See, it actually has that big like tail to it. Makes it much easier. This one we're really going to pin a lot because it is the first time sewing it. And so I always like to make sure I pin the heck out of anything that I've never done before, right? It's like once you do it 100 times, it's like you kind of learn what needs to be pinned and what doesn't. But the first time, man, oh man, pin that sucker on up. Only thing I don't like about those new pins is that they're like silk pins, which for anyone that doesn't know what that means is they're like twice as sharp. So that part kind of sucks. I don't really like how sharp they are, but yeah. Also got to make sure we get both layers. It's very common in the real world. What they would have done is they would have sewn the facing shut, then put it on, you know, as one piece. I do that kind of stuff all the time, but you know, for today, let's just get it, because we're already at an hour. And by the way, you know, that is part of the reason why I do this, is to show you that it's going to take me an hour plus to make one of these. And so when I charge you $120 for it, you know why. Let's sew her up. A little tip for sewing, you always want to put the stretchier thing on the bottom. So in this case, my facing. All right, get that 90-degree turn going. Oh. I might end up having to think of a new way to attach this. It might be a little too challenging. I'm going to have to do this. In the future, we'll figure out another way of doing it. Yeah, I think in the future we'll definitely have to do this another way. This is not as reliable as I'd like it to be. That or I should have pre-cut my corners is the other thing I should have done. Always try to get this as flat as possible. Even though it might not seem important, it does help with the tension of the entire garment to have it be as flat as possible. Still gotta do it one more time. Good. It's never a bad idea to check your stuff. All right, so we're going to turn that corner again. All right, now we finally ringed that rosy. We got all the way around all four corners. Let's see how we did. Okay. So, I need my real scissors for this. All right, let's get this corner. I'll leave it like that for now and just see how good we got. It's a little tight. All right. Yeah, I think in the end we're going to have to learn a different way to put that yoke in. I think we'll put the yoke in beforehand. Having to do four corners is like probably one of the most difficult things to do in sewing. So that's probably something we shouldn't do, you know? I mean, I can, but it has made everything more difficult. That's all it really did. All right, let's go on a little trip, huh? Okay, well, this is what we made inside out. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do a little swapsies and put myself into this shirt here so that we can all kind of see what it looks like, the finished product. Well, you know, finished product, try one, right? As I said, you know, it doesn't have to be the only try. It just got to be the first. 1 second. Let me grab my shirt, my new shirt. It's my new shirt. Look at my shirt. It's my new shirt. Actually, no, we'll keep that one. We'll keep it this way. All right, fellas. All right, everybody. So this is what I made. As you can see, it kind of like goes to where the shoulder should be, right? But the idea is it's like a faux shoulder. Like, because see, it looks like it's a sleeve, but really, it's not really a sleeve, right? I mean, it is a sleeve, but it's, you know. And then this, I'm thinking I should probably get it here. Little lower, right? Because like, you know, the boobs are there. And so we'll cut it probably another 2 inches lower. Some of that's a little, you know, I got to get my corners right. If you see that, it's like kind of bulging a little bit, right? So I'm going to have to make sure I get on my corners right. But that's the idea of the shirt. And then it's this long, which waist is here. Okay. So waist is here and the shirt is there. So it does go like, I mean, that's essentially, you know, the male parts there. That's so it's covering that up a little bit. I didn't want to make it a full dress. So like, you know, another 4 inches and that would be like a dress version of this, you know? I think also I might want it like that too, a little lower. I am a non-binary person myself. And so, you know, that is part of the collection. It's definitely kind of a bit of a non-binary feel. Is it a man? Is it a woman kind of feel, you know? It is a good length, yeah. It's like to give reference for anyone, it's going to be basically halfway to like halfway down your pocket. So if you have a pair of jeans on, and you know, it will be enough so that it kind of covers like a little bit of the top of your hand, but you know, you can still easily put your hands in your pocket and not have a problem there. Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be a better look than that. This is like almost a little too flat. I have, this is called like a scoop neck, but like a flat scoop. At work, I definitely do all the scoop necks and all that kind of stuff. And so that's more of a traditional scoop neck. It's a little more of a round part, whereas I've kind of had it a little flatter, which I don't know. I don't hate it, to be honest. I thought that I wouldn't like it, but it actually gives more of like a masculine feel to it. Because when you go like here, it does kind of give, I don't know, a little bit of like cleavage, right? It's going to give you cleavage, where it's like here, it's just high enough that like the top of my boobs are here, right? Or top of a chest or anything like that is here. So you still have like 2 inches before you really get to any kind of like, you know, if I was a woman, I would have to be down here to get cleavage. Whereas it's kind of up here. So, you know, I kind of like, maybe I'll do 1 inch lower. So it's like that. You know, yeah, I think that's like perfect. We'll do 1 inch lower. So you know what? I wanted to write that all down too. So 1 inch lower on front. How does my back look? I've realized recently I have to start like either taking photos of myself, or I have dress forms, but they're at my work. So I got to go bring my dress forms back and I got to go get a male one as well. But, you know, given that androgyny that I was looking for, that I'm kind of missing from, you know, all of these unisex shirts, it's like they still have a masculine feel to them. So this is definitely has a little bit more of a feminine feel. You know? It almost looks like a nightgown, like an old lady would wear. She'd wear a nightgown, right? But then the sleeve length is at that like t-shirt length, but you got this little bit of color that, like, you know, back in the day they would do what I call smocking, or what anyone calls smocking, which is like they would have like it would all be like all gathered up here. That was kind of the inspiration for it, like a very old prairie style, you know, like what they call like the on the prairie. Yeah, I think that's definitely an inch lower is going to be good. And then 1 inch. Well, if that's an inch lower, then it will be there. But I still think 1 inch more on yoked piece. Also, if you want to look up close, see on the front and the back, it's actually like, you know, that is seamed that way. And so, you know, you get this nice, 1 inch. Yeah. I think that's good. Like right there is definitely better than here. One inch. That's 2 inches there. I noticed the House of Improvements along the screen. I like it. Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime I get into a live stream, I can name it. It happens every time. I think it's just the first time you've noticed. But yeah, I always do that. It always says the House of Improvements. It says the House of. I can name it whatever I want, up to like 244 characters, that kind of thing. But yeah, this is the House of Improvements. This is the first design from it. Isn't it cool? I like the sleeve. You know, that's a classic sleeve link. I mean, that's my elbow. So, I mean, you know, once it's hemmed, it will be hemmed up to like there. So, you know, a very classic look there. See, I can also do this too. I can get rid of it, and it will put whatever comment I've put. So I can change it. See, now it says, I noticed the House of Improvement among. It's that way. What it is that if I have a really active chat, I could actually talk to you guys about that comment and be like, all right, this comment for everyone that, you know, thank you for saying that, and, you know, stuff like that, right? And then I can get rid of it. Boom, and back to my thing, right? But yeah, so that's ultimately what I wanted to do today, is slap together real fast a design to kind of show you. This is where the first design will be heading, where it's like you have this kind of faux, you know, it almost looks like there's a sleeve here, but there's not. There's, you know, there is no, if we get up close here with me, you can see there is no no cut there. You know, there's nothing cut here from here to here, from there to there, no cut. All right, no cut. So, you know, that's what's called a French sleeve. Ooh, hold on one second. I got a pencil underneath for you guys. All right, there we go. So, as I've said previously, we're going to end all of our streams until I'm out of this box. I will be ending all my streams with opening up either a can of bots or with what's called the creative cards. So let's go ahead and open them. All right, let's see what we got. All right. Turn that off. So this one is from Cans, I think. Let's see. Humrook. Oh, this is CZ13. Oh, that's who this is. I see it at the top now. This is from CZ13. Isn't that cool? It's a like a purple hoodie that the character's wearing, and then he has just like the green paint coming off of him. Yeah, I think the light was better. Huh? Yeah, the light was better. All right, let's open up the second one. Funny looking and cute. I mean, doesn't that just describe me perfectly? All right, I mean, isn't that that's always been the look I've been going for, is funny looking and cute. Notice the disheveled hair, it kind of matches it. All right, let's see what the second one is. No whammies, no whammies. Oh, nice. Oh, look at that, suckers. I already know who this is from. This is from Zero Production. You got the Supreme Pigeon. Oh, come on, you in focus. There you go. Oh, thank you. But I think I'm weird and cute, so I'm going to be going for buff and cute here eventually. We'll see. I did push-ups the other day. Can you believe that? It's the first time I did push-ups in my entire life willingly. And that says a lot about me. I'm more like this guy, always chilling. But this is from this is Can of Coup by Zero Productivity. In perfect way. Oh, thank you. But yeah, so he's also wearing like a little jacket. Oh yeah, I am a god job, right? I know he meant good job, but also, if you hear, they all have shakers in them. Because, you know, it's meant to be like a spray can, like that kind of stuff, right? Like I even have a spray can somewhere around here. Oh, yeah, here you go. You know, so this is like a, you know, that doesn't have a good one. There we go. This one has a good one. So, you know, you have that, and then you actually have it inside of here. They put little steel ball bearings is how it works. It's like little steel ball bearings. And they put it in the top. And so it's meant to be like that guy, right? Isn't that cute? That's how the whole collection of Canabots. I actually have like 3 other Canabots. I happen to love them because I am trying to get into the, the kind of customization world, all right? Like getting into spray painting, getting into all that kind of stuff as well. I didn't put clear coat on that, so now my hand's covered in glitter. But it's all right. Anyways, this is my first shirt, or my first attempt at a shirt. Next week, I will have a finished one of these with those changes. And so that way we can kind of, keep it moving, right? And then I also want to show you what the Crew Plus looks like from last month, but I missed the stream. And then we had the other stuff with my grandmother. And, sometimes it just doesn't work the way you want, right? But, I love it. It looks good to me. I like it. And I've actually want to do another version where I was thinking about cutting it here and then doing that down as another piece. So it'd be like a 3-piece thing. More color blocking. I love a color block. Anyways, this is the Canabots that I got. I've been Chris Collected. That's right. I've changed my last name. I am not doing anymore doing the Chris from Life Collected. I will be changing and updating my Instagram as well today. And I want to go by Chris Collected because I am, as you can see, collecting my shit together still. It's going to take a minute for sure. But, also I want to, collect all this stuff, and I collect a lot of stuff, right? And then I'm collecting my life together into a cute little company, and then becoming my own person. And, it's all about a digital character that I'm creating. And his name is Chris Collected. Because my first name is actually really Chris. But, I couldn't think of anything else. I love Chris Collected. It just sounds really, really cool. And so that's going to be my new name. It was either that or Chris the Improved. And ultimately, I think Chris Collected just rang better. It rang truer to me to be, because I am a collector of things, but also I want to collect Patreons and collect this business together and, get it all going, right? And so, yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I am Chris Collected, and this has been the House of Improvements, the first design. So, thank you guys so much for coming out. I will be doing these from Thursday from now on, and Tuesday will still be my digital streams. Again, every week trying to get better and better. This week I moved myself out here. I'm thinking about throwing like a sheet behind me next week. Collected is perfect for all those reasons. I know, right? I think so too. I think it's a really good reason. My next thing is I got to learn how to stare into the camera really well. So I keep looking down here at the monitor, but not up here where you guys are. So, because it's like, I got to be like, am I looking? Am I looking? Am I looking? Am I looking? Yeah. It's starting to drive me crazy, but it's like, I really got to learn it, right? Anyways, thank you guys so much. I've been Chris Collected. This is the House of Improvements. Please improve yourself a little bit while I improve myself, right? That's kind of the name of the company. That's what the meaning behind the company is that you can improve yourself. I can improve myself. This is the first time I've ever said I'm non-binary in my entire life out loud. So, hey, there's that. Always improving. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Bye. Bye. Good job. I learned a lot this time. Oh, thank you. Bye. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye. You got to end now.